Hi everyone, welcome to the Envelopes Emmy Contender Series. I'm Yvonne Villarreal, and today we're talking to Constance Zimmer, who plays gruff executive producer Quinn in Lifetime's UnReal, and we'll be taking your questions as well, so shoot them over in the comments section. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Gruff. I like gruff. I don't think I've heard that yet.
You're gruff.
I like it.
It's good.
It's like a girl version of tough.
Yes.
Gruff. Oh, that's right. We're live, guys.
We're live. I'm a little nervous too because I'm like, I feel like Quinn is like watching me and judging me.
No, she's not here. She's nowhere here.
Not here?
She's
okay,
not
good.
here.
She's not talking into your earpiece.
No.
Saying, answer it this way.
No.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for joining us. So you were just saying that you guys wrapped season 3 like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes, yes.
So you're going to remember part of season 2 as we do this discussion?
Barely. I'm hoping that your questions are going to be so fantastic and filled with details that I'll be able to, I'll float right back into the second season.
Okay. Well, season 2 began with Quinn and Rachel, well, Quinn ceding control of Everlasting to Rachel.
Yes.
Just as the show was about to have this groundbreaking moment with its first African-American suitor. So were you excited for this show to sort of go there before the real show that it's somewhat based on went
loosely,
there?
That's right, very loosely. Of course we were, because I think that's what UnReal does so well, is they push the envelope a little bit more than is expected, and they bring up conversations. They shine light on issues that I think need to be talked about. And it's not that they're necessarily controversial, but they are issues and topics that, why are we not talking about it? And we have such a great background and platform to do it on, which is inside the world of a reality television show. So it allows us to show, you know, the front side of it and then the back side. And I think that's what makes the writing for the show so fun, because you can push it a little bit farther than normal people might be comfortable with.
Well, and those two things, like, on its own would seem enough to drive a whole season. And then it was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
There's so much going on this season.
Yeah, I mean, we have 10 episodes, and I think what we do in 10 episodes is what a normal show would do in 22.
Yes.
Right.
How is that for you as the actor?
It's
sort
exhausting.
Of like grappling everything.
It's exhausting because you can't imagine that it's all happening in the same episode. You think, oh, we must be block shooting. We must be shooting 2 episodes at once. That's when you just kind of integrate 2 episodes at the same time over a 2-week period, as opposed to just doing 1 for 1 week. And so a lot of times I'll just think, oh, it's because it's 2 episodes. No, it's not. It's 1 episode. All of this has happened in 1 episode.
1 episode.
Yes.
Well, and obviously the Rachel Quinn dynamic is sort of central to the show. It's the central love story. And they have this very volatile bond, but there's like this intense loyalty underneath it. But season 2 saw Quinn sort of grappling with the mentee suddenly becoming the threat. Talk about how that sort of affected Quinn's identity and sort of this idea of women not really supporting each other.
Well, the Quinn and Rachel relationship being as complicated as it is, I do believe that Quinn wants her to succeed, but she wants her to succeed differently than Quinn did, right? So there is definitely, it's not, I don't think I looked at it as a threat. I looked at it as, if she's going to do this, she has to do it right. So when she messes up, it's not a, I can't believe you, you're horrible. It's, no, you've got to listen to me. You can't do this the way I did it. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to show you the way. And if you can't do it, then I have to take over again to show you how to do it. And Quinn lives in a very dark world because of what she has been through to get where she has gotten. And I think what's great about this show is we are also now trying to show that those roles are shifting today in television, in a lot, not even just in television, everywhere. And it's important that we show that I didn't get that support as a woman coming up in this business, but now Rachel is a woman coming up in this business, being brought up by another woman, and showing the difference in how we can do that. And it might seem like she's not supportive. It's just the way that she shows her support is a little complicated and maybe over-exaggerated for a television show purpose and storyline. But I do truly believe that Quinn knows that she's making her better. She just goes about it in a very different way.
Well, and so you think Quinn doesn't want her to sort of lead the same lifestyle that she's in?
Yeah, I think especially with the way the second season ends and Quinn realizing that that's all she has, she doesn't want Rachel to be left in that same boat. And it's also a boat that I think Quinn didn't even know she was in until the end.
Right. When season 2 also saw the death of Quinn's father, how important was that for you to sort of see part of where the ambition and like ruthless drive comes from, or was it not, or could you have been fine without sort of having that there, like just going on its own that she's ambitious and has this drive?
Well, you know, there was actually a big scene that we shot with my dad that ended up being cut out. So for me, it was interesting to see the storyline play out without that, with nobody having seen that. But I went through it because it was really emotional, and there was all this discussions about, you know, how my mom left and he raised me and he didn't raise me very well. He kind of left me on my own. And it made a lot of sense for me playing the character to see why she became very tough, because she didn't have a choice. She didn't really have a very good role model, so she had to become the woman and the man in the family. But I think the death of that became an awareness of what you've lacked your whole life, which is why I think when it goes into the love story with Yoan, who comes on and she falls so fast in love, I think that's what she was like, oh my gosh, this is what I need, this is what I've been missing. You know, oh, now I want to have kids, I want to carry on a legacy. Like, I think, so the death of the dad, I think that's what that brought on more than anything, of the realization of what she was missing.
Did they ever tell you why they cut that scene?
You know, there's so many, it's so crazy the way television is edited, but I think ultimately it was pace-wise, because it really was kind of a halting in the, you know, the show moves so fast and so furiously that I believe it just kind of stopped it a little bit in its tracks, and we always want to keep going on the show. We just want to keep flying. But it was great for me. It gave me some background.
And that was helpful, I would assume. Yeah. Let's take a question from Twitter. Corey asks, is Quinn done with Chet romantically?
Well, you have to watch season 3. I can't answer that. I don't know if she's ever done. I don't know if you are ever done with somebody who kind of has been there for you when you were nobody and when you did your rise and everything in between. I think that they will always be in each other's lives. It's just a matter of to what extent. But you definitely have to watch the 3rd season to get more answers to that.
Do we have a premiere date for season 3?
I wish, but I believe I could be giving you guys...
You have a month?
I'm going to give you guys an exclusive.
Yes.
We should know by this week.
Okay.
That's your exclusive.
Damn.
Super. Just making sure I'm not going to get anybody mad at me. But we should know hopefully by this week.
Okay.
We will know by this week. I'm putting it out there.
Okay.
Artist
to make it happen.
Making it happen.
Make it happen. Well, and we saw with the finale of Everlasting, there's a moment that sort of rests on Quinn's facial expression where she sees Darius and Ruby sort of having this happily ever after moment. And it's something that isn't created by Quinn or her crew. It's not manipulated. It's this real genuine moment. And talk about, you know, the direction you were given for that scene. and what you think Quinn is thinking in that moment.
Well, that moment also ties into, because have you already seen the whole, like, she realized she can't have kids and that whole crazy meltdown of sorts? That, I already had that going into that scene, that everything that she thought she didn't want is now becoming things that she thinks she's missing, which is a huge, huge revelation in, I think, anyone's mind.
Yeah.
So watching them go off and have found love out of, again, a crazy scenario, a crazy situation that, yeah, we didn't create. It's the reality inside the reality television that I think we all love to watch. Why you watch reality shows is that's what you believe that you're seeing. Is stuff that is really happening and it's not being created. So for Quinn, it makes it that much harder. But yet, you also, what's that word? Inspiring, I guess, that it's possible. Anything's possible.
Is it possible after that finale, though, with Coleman and Yael? Do we know if they're dead?
Yes, I mean, well, I just said yes. But yes, we reveal what happens in season 3. But I think that we had left it to the audience's perception. And, but they're dead. Yeah, they're dead. Let's just say it right here. Another exclusive. Tell you right now, they're dead. Okay?
Why is there so much why is there so much death happening?
I don't know. They're bad people. They do things for, I don't know. I have no idea, but it's very exciting.
I want to be Quinn's conscience for a day. Like, what do you think that is like?
It's not pretty.
No.
It's very murky. It goes in and out of being in focus and out of focus and aware and unaware. And it's what I love about playing the character is that there is no right or wrong. There is no judgment. There are no apologies, and it's you just go and you take one day at a time and you deal with the situation when it hits you and you don't worry about it until then. And so those are the moments that when she is hit in the face with the reality of it, okay, so how do I deal with it right now? What do I do in this situation right here at this moment? And you know, it's nice. They show, we go through the 3rd season showing the effect now, which we needed to do because that's a lot to do.
Yeah.
But it was an accident. So
and Quinn technically had nothing to do
I
with it.
had nothing to do with it, by the way. This is my favorite too. Always on the set. Everyone's like, "You're always sticking up for Quinn." And I said, "Yes, and if I don't stick up for her, who's going to stick up for her?" I mean, come on.
Well, and I love the parallel from season 1 of Rachel and Quinn, although in season 2 they were joined by 2 other people, but having this moment on the lawn chair. Like, does season 3 end on the lawn chairs?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's a theme.
It's
like a really
yeah.
cute thing that I think it was written that way in season 1, and I do believe that it's now become this
a thing.
Yeah, which I like. It's kind of, it's what they used to do on Boston Legal at the end of every episode when James Spader and William Shatner would sit on their chairs and smoke their cigars and drink, and they would talk about their week or they would talk about their day. And it's kind of nice. It's like a wrapping up of sorts of how far have we come, or have we just stayed neutral?
Hopefully season 3, they're not talking about another death, though.
Well, no, and also because we have a Bachelorette
Yes.
season 3, which is a whole nother ball of wax.
How so?
In a very good way. It was very different.
Yeah?
Very different. Very cool. I really like exploiting men. Did I say that out loud? I said that out loud. I did. The character really likes exploiting men, not me as Constance.
Okay. Good,
but it was fun to watch men feel what that feels like and be completely kind of taken by surprise by it. And as women, we're kind of unfortunately used to it by
right.
now.
Mm-hmm.
And watching them like read lines and perform characters that were men making fun of themselves and exploiting themselves, I was like, oh, this feels very weird. This feels very odd, you know. So that was really a lot of fun.
Which twist or turn from season 2 were you most shocked by?
You know, I was really shocked in season 2 that Quinn fell in love so fast. It felt great, and I loved it, and it was colors that I never got to do with that character before. And for her to then turn on him and not allow that love to be something that could have healed her was also hard. Because, as you said, we have such a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
I wish that we could have spent more time exploring all of the issues with race and minorities and all of that. I wish we could have done more of that in season 2, but we are a small television show that only has 10 episodes. So I think that we did enough to start a conversation, and that makes me happy. I mean, they do now have an African American bachelorette, so kind of feel like maybe we had a little tiny bit to do with that.
Okay. Well, let's take another question. Mayara, sorry if I'm mispronouncing, on Twitter asks, will Quinn's backstory be explored more in season 3?
I do talk a little bit more about my upbringing and maybe where I was sent on the wrong path. We talk about it. We don't necessarily see people, but we do talk about it more because there is a lot of this, you know, it's a 3-female power struggle now, and there is a lot of trying to explain why, as women, we push women in a certain direction, not to hurt them, but to help them. And it's really just all Quinn. Quinn doesn't know any different. And that comes out a little bit more as to why.
We have another question. How did you prepare for your first directing experience?
I did so much work. I did so much prep. I mean, people were laughing at me because I had all my pages color-coded. I had all the characters had different color tabs so that when any actor said, where do I first show up? I would have it all color-coded. It would be like, this is the first time we saw you. This is the last time we saw you. And it was so fun. And I was exhausted, but it was all worth it. I know these characters so well. And even the new characters coming in, you know what we need to get out of them as far as what we do on the show. And the crew was so unbelievably supportive of me and the different visions that I had. And even if there were things we had never done on the show before, it was always about, let's try it, let's do it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we didn't say that we didn't try. And the actors, everybody, I mean, just could not have been a better experience.
How did, like, playing Quinn for these past 2 seasons help inform you in that role?
It was definitely very meta when I was dressed as Quinn and I was directing in the scene that I was in, and everybody was like, wait, it's like Quinn is yelling at me from behind the camera. So it definitely became a little bit of everybody was confused. But it's, you know, Quinn is different because her direction on a reality show is manipulating people. And as a director directing actors, you're trying to inform them so that they can come to their own performance without telling them what to do. And so maybe it's a different kind of manipulation, but Quinn's is going for super dramatic effect, where as a director you're going for absolute realism in the situation. But it was definitely weird being dressed as Quinn and having to, I would talk to people as Constance, but I was dressed as Quinn, and then I'd be, and I'd be in the scene giving direction. It was a little.
I would imagine that's the hard part when you're in the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have, I had my executive producer and the writer that were there, and they help you and they keep an eye on you while you're in the scenes, and it's a lot, but it's fun. I mean, I would do it again and again and again and again.
Was Boo on set during this time?
Boo was on set, yes.
Was she
She was a
cooperative.
bitch. She was a bitch. Am I allowed
Who's
to say
a
that?
dog?
Yeah, you guys. She's a female dog. Is called a bitch. You guys, bitch, please. That's from second season. Hello.
But she was good.
She was great. She's always great. I find it just fascinating that the dog never barks. Doesn't do never barks and follows Craig around. Just will do anything that Craig says.
What do you think Quinn would think if she found out found out a network was going to do a drama about the making of Everlasting?
I think she would be incredibly flattered.
Would she be the one pitching it, or no?
No, I don't think she would pitch it, but I think she would be incredibly flattered, but then also think like, what's so interesting about what we do? We're not, and you know, we have a situation in season 3 where a journalist of some sort does want to come on the set and kind of investigate and infiltrate and see what we do. And you see Quinn has to kind of put on a little bit of a show, which is also fun to watch and to to see how long she can handle it. She can't handle it for very long.
Not for very long.
No.
What do you think she does when Everlasting is on a break? Like, what does Quinn do during that off time?
That's a really good question. I feel like I don't even know if she would go on vacation.
No, I don't think so.
Because I don't think she can relax at all.
No.
You know, she's probably busy producing somebody else's life.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, exactly. Or, you know, we definitely have her in a place where she's pitching other shows.
Okay.
Because she can't have downtime.
Yeah.
She goes from one show to the next to the next. And, you know, those reality shows in general, that's the way they do it. So they really don't have downtime. So in Quinn's world, even though you go 6 months or a year seeing a show, she's already on to the next show and the next show. Yeah.
How... I'm just thinking about that. Like, I want to see what her other shows are now.
Right? They're pretty funny.
Because I know you watch Cupcake Wars, but Quinn probably doesn't watch that.
No, but we do have a very funny version of that on our show.
You do? Was that your pitch? We got to have something like
No,
this?
it wasn't even my pitch. It's what I get stuck doing, and I hate it.
Okay.
Because you'll see. Because the third season takes place 6 months after the second season, and so you see what they have been doing after what happened, after the accidental deaths. Accidental deaths, exactly.
Have you changed your stance on watching
Well, you
Bachelor or
know,
Bachelorette?
I never really watched those shows before I did this. I watched one season of each, especially because now we go into the Bachelorette this season. So I watched one season of each to see the difference. And it's important because it does inform me to kind of watch the show and understand that what we're doing on our show is like weirdly so close to what they do on the shows, which for me, I look at it on the page and I say, this would never happen. Nobody would ever do this. And then you kind of go and you watch those different types of dating shows and you're like, oh no, they actually do those things. And it's interesting. And we've had so much incredible feedback from everybody in reality television. So it's fun because, again, we're not telling people you shouldn't watch these shows. We're just kind of pulling back the curtain a little bit.
Did you find yourself getting sucked into it? Like, which contestant were you watching?
I didn't. I watched one season of The Bachelor, which was the Juan Pablo.
Okay.
And then I watched one season of The Bachelorette, which was Caitlyn.
Okay.
So both very interesting, but not. I don't get caught up in it. But that might be because I just can't. I just
yeah, you're just too
I'm
in
like
it.
it's my world when I work and I see all of it. I see like shooting in between cracks in a bathroom door and how they make it seem like, oh, they don't know the camera's there. I'm like, yeah, they do.
It's there.
They do.
Let's take
Pretty
another
sure they
question. Any chance to see Janine again in future episodes of House of Cards?
Oh, House of Cards. Well, all I keep telling the fans of House of Cards is I am not dead. So, it's in parentheses, I am not dead. That which always keeps me hoping that I'll be back. As long as he's in power,
Yeah.
Somebody's got to take
His
him
hair
down.
got really white this season.
It's very stressful.
Very stressful.
Very
job.
stressful being president.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So here's hoping. It'll be the fans that keep it. Janine lives. Keep Janine alive.
Well, and how, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about season 3, but like, how would you say it's more dramatic than season 2? Like, how do you?
I'd say it's a different kind of dramatic because we're bringing in a bachelorette this season. You know, last season we had the African American suitor and we were dealing with a lot of race issues. This year we're dealing with a lot of female issues and the discussions that we're all having about how women are treated differently and what do we do to change that conversation. And I just keep saying that I love that our show is allowed to bring these things up and we just put it out there and we talk about it, but then we let the audience go and continue the conversation. We don't have all the answers. We are actors on a television show, so we have tiny, tiny sections of perspective, and I just like being able to just put it out there and then let's all talk about it. Because that's the problem, right? We have lack of communication across all frames, everywhere. And if we all just communicated more in our personal life, in our daily life, in our work life, I think that there would be a lot better things happening.
People should tweet at you after watching each episode. Get the conversation going.
That's right, and we do. We live tweet all the time
Yeah.
because I think it is fascinating, the questions that come up and the discussions that want to be talked about. I think people should start watching UnReal live like they watch those reality shows and it becomes a conversation. Like, let's just bring back live viewing, people. Everyone's streaming everything. Everyone's watching everything like months later.
Watch in real time.
Yeah, bring back live television viewing. Make UnReal parties.
I feel like that's the most hopeless plea ever. But let's do the lightning round.
Ooh, lightning
Get
round.
ready.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Last show you binge watched?
Night of.
Ooh, good. What show that you love would you want to sit and watch someone else enjoy for the first time?
30 Rock.
If you could go back and be on any classic show, what would it be?
Laverne and Shirley.
Ooh, good one. What genre would you like to try?
I want to go back to comedy. Full-fledged comedy.
Okay. I think you'd be good at it. Again. Walter White or Tony Soprano?
Walter White.
What was your first acting job and what did you learn from that you're still using now?
Whew. Like very, very, very absolute first acting job? Or like the one that matters?
First.
Very first. Oof. I was cut out of it, so that's what I learned. Be better.
Which one?
Be more of a presence.
Was it?
It's very funny. They kept my voice, but didn't keep my actual footage of myself on camera.
What show did
It was
that?
a movie of the week called The Day My Parents Ran Away. And I was a girl in line for the bathroom. And I say something to the lead in the movie, and I forgot his name. I apologize. And I said, I think he killed them. And the line's still there, but it like comes from nobody. It's like just like a voiceover, but I still got credit.
Job.
That's right. I still got credit though. Constance Zimmer.
That's what matters.
Who knows where I was, but I was there somewhere.
And you probably spent so much time practicing that, right?
Yes.
Going over and over.
Yes. And it's what I got my SAG card for. So I was actually Taft-Hart lead for that. You never saw me, but you heard me. So I don't know. At least I know I have a career in voiceovers.
But look how far you've come.
I've come so far.
So far. Well, Constance, thanks so much for joining us.
Joining
us. It was a pleasure.
Thanks
and
for having
thanks to you guys. If you want to check out more of our Emmy contender chats, head over to ellitimes.com. Thanks.
Woohoo!
Yeah.